Everybody wants a piece of me tonight. Everybody has a story to tell tonight.
Well, it's been nearly a year since the Josh Says has graced the internet, and it's about time we fix that. I'm here with you now in the return episode of the Josh Says with my current co-host, Aiden. Aiden, why don't you give the camera a woo woo woo? Come on, God.
Woo.
Do it right, come on.
Woo.
Woo woo woo. You know it. Yeah. Alright. So, we're going to talk a little bit about SummerSlam coming up here. Obviously, the two headlining matches, well, three headlining matches, really. We have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio. I'm sure you're excited about this, right? Rooting for Sheamus in this, are you? Of course you are. You're a ginger, just like him. Obviously, Sheamus is going to super it up and probably come on top when the time comes around. Hopefully, we'll see a Dolph Ziggler cash in by the end, because it's got to happen soon. We got Brock Lesnar and Triple H as one of the other headlining matches. How do you feel about Brock Lesnar and Triple H there, Aiden? Who are you rooting for in that match?
Yeah.
Well, who do you want to win?
Triple H.
Triple H? Alright. And then, of course, there's the WWE Championship match, which was just officially taken on last night. We're going to have a triple threat WWE title match between CM Punk, John Cena, and The Big Show. Now, this one is going to be hard to call for my colleague here, as he's kind of a fan of all three. Me, well, it's a no-brainer. Punk all the way. Let's see what Aiden has to say. Aiden, how do you feel about that match?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win?
John Cena.
You think John Cena's going to come out with the WWE Championship? Well, what do you know? You're four.
No. John Cena got the money in the bank.
Yeah, well, he did have the money in the bank, but he cashed it in on the 1000th Raw, and he didn't win the belt because Big Show attacked him. So, John Cena didn't win the title when he cashed the money in the bank. He's the first person to lose.
Yeah, and John Cena.
Technically he won, but that's neither here nor there.
The Big Show won.
You think Big Show's going to win that? Well, you just changed your mind because I made fun of John Cena? No, well, what's going on now? Obviously you don't. I'm still sticking with CM Punk. Punk all the way. Anyway, that's still a couple weeks away, so we're not really focusing on that. This is essentially just a return attempt to get myself back in the flow of things. Introduce you to my little colleague here who, well, Baby Sheamus here, the ginger anyway. You've heard what he has to say. So it looks like CM Punk's going heel. I'm hoping not, though. They're kind of hinting at a bit of a not quite heel, not quite face thing going on. Well, let's be honest. It doesn't really fit with the current WWE programming. Unfortunately, this kid's mentality does fit with the current WWE programming. No offense. Still love you, but you're four. And Vince keeps catering to you, which there's a problem with that. In fact, if I remember correctly, you were completely correct in every match you called for WrestleMania. Yeah, you were. You called Kane over Orton and a handful of other ones, which, by the way, that show still sucked. And it was a huge, it hurt my viewing of the product for a while. Hey, Aiden. Can't see me.
Can't see me.
Yeah, well, no, you can't see me. Literally, see, you can't see me now. How about a yes chant? Want to give me a yes chant? Come on, let's see a little deep right yes. Come on, you can do it.
Yes.
You gotta do it right, with fingers up, everything. Come on. Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes! That's better. Much better. Alright. Well, fellas, thank you for your time. Hopefully we'll return with another segment here shortly. Maybe I can get some OPP on, or I suppose nobody really wants Sergeant Pretty Boy anyway. Because, well, I don't want to ask, though he might want to tell. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be getting a few more of these coming up in the near future. And a nice in-depth look at SummerSlam as we come closer. Yeah, we're going to call this quits. So, next thing that Josh says, I'd like to touch on a few things in the undercard. Since we've gotten the ginger out of here, you may remember OPP here. Otherwise known as my wife, Angel. Yes. Who, I'd like to discuss a few things with, mainly because I'm sure the reactions will be interesting. To begin, I'm going to talk about another ginger who happens to be, my wife here's favorite superstar in the world.
Not, definitely not.
He's the one-man band, baby! Heath Slater getting his ass kicked regularly by legends. Now, mind you, have not yet watched Raw, so I don't know if anything progresses on episode 1001. But on episode 1000, we witnessed the return of what can only be referred to as the Extreme Diva, Lita, with her hired protection of the APA, one form of Bradshaw that my wife here could handle. Whereas I always loved me some JBL. He was the wrestling god, after all.
So we thought.
Oh, there was no thought to it. It was just pure fact.
No.
He was the wrestling god, just like The Miz is awesome.
Don't ever compare him to The Miz. Two totally different ballparks.
Which brings me to another interesting point. I bring you back to WrestleMania 2011. John Cena and The Miz. Miz was the WWE champion at the time. Now, leading up to this for, essentially since his debut on ECW, I found myself to be a rather big fan of The Miz. Nobody else liked him. In fact, the person sitting next to me had the same reaction to him coming on the screen as I did to the sound of John Cena's music. She wanted to punch him in the face. Much similar to how she feels currently about the all-American Jack Swagger. Now, well, she's not wearing it at the moment, but she will be in a few days. I guarantee you she'll have the Miz hat on again in a few days when we go to 2CW's All or Nothing, is that what they're doing?
2CW is on.
I thought 2CW-a-thon was the show they were doing in Syracuse.
Nope, that's All or
Nothing. Sammy Callahan and John Morrison.
Yep.
Which is something else I'm going to talk about a little later, and I actually think I'm going to do a review of that basically this weekend. But yeah, she'll have that hat on, probably trying to get some Ciampa signature on there.
I've already been promised.
Yeah, my wife has an infatuation with Ciampa. It's okay. She can drool over Ciampa, but if I'm lucky, maybe Cherry Bomb will be there for me to drool over again. Oh, God.
Maybe Nikki Jep and that Cherry Bomb next time.
Nikki Jet was alright, but she didn't have much of an ass.
Muscle Marcos and DDP are going to have their showdown, so you know Nikki's going to be there.
Which I still think, when they pulled, I think Scott Steiner would be the great addition. Or, as I was thinking while playing EWR, not to interrupt, just playing EWR, for those of you who might remember Extreme Warfare Revenge, looking over Petey Williams, Maple Leaf Muscle. Tell me he wouldn't be the perfect size for someone like Muscle Marcos to have a conversation.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
It would be amusing.
But they did decide not to do Scott Steiner. They took Kevin Nash, who will be in their upcoming Watertown show, which I believe is in October. I'm not positive.
So then we'll probably see November return to Rome, if we're lucky. We'll find out for sure on Saturday.
November, December timeframe is what I'm guessing, because they've got a good lineup on their website. And there's like a block between middle of October to November, and then there's a block between November and December where they're sparse.
But yes. So, onto the subject back again now, that we've deviated a bit. Onto the one-man band, baby. What are your thoughts of this Job in the Legends gimmick?
It works for him, because it is getting him heat. And I do enjoy seeing him get piss pounded, especially by somebody like Lita, because Lita rocks.
Well, yeah, but he didn't really do the piss pounding.
No, that was
a little bit of everybody.
Single legend that he's already faced.
He did sell the fuck out of that clothesline from hell.
Yes, he did.
That's one thing I've always said about Heath Slater. Being he's still a younger competitor, he has amazing ring generalship for somebody of his age. He knows how to work in the ring. He might not be the most over person as far as his character or his charisma or his personality,
He does have decent charisma, but I just don't like him.
that motherfucker can sell.
I just don't like
The
him.
only person I've ever seen sell that clothesline from hell better was motherfucking Rikishi, who did give the stink face to Heath Slater on Raw 999, which is just, the reverse of the devil. Well, invert of the devil, I think, actually.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll have somebody correct me. But yeah, so, yeah, I'm digging this Heath Slater thing, which actually kind of ties in the 2CW event coming up as one person who did make an appearance, and Heath Slater got his one win over Doink the Clown shortly afterwards.
EDP.
As Heath Slater put it, was kind enough to teach him how to do the diamond cutter. Really what happened was, bang.
Yeah. And he was also at 1,000.
Yes, he was. Looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good for his age. I miss the Jerry curled little fucking mullet going on though, but whatever. He is a nice guy, by the way, too. I met him when I was about 9 years old. Really, really nice guy. Actually rode in the backseat of the car with him. I bet you if he could look back now, he'd realize how that was an amazing moment of his life, because he got to sit in the same car with the Josh. Most electrifying man in the interwebs today. That's right. I'm the one-man show, baby. Okay, well maybe. Well, yeah, still one man, because the other one was a kid, not really man. And this one's got chesticles, so it's not a man either. Those are called moves when it's a man. The other subject I'd like to discuss with you here is, though you haven't watched as many episodes as I have, I've actually become rather hooked on the NXT broadcasts. You've seen a few episodes. You got to see the debut of Seth Rollins, Tyler Black from ROH.
Tyler Black is awesome.
You did get to see Cassius Ohno, if I remember correctly.
Briefly, I really haven't watched him, but Chris Hero is the bomb.
I know you saw Antonio Cesaro on there at least once. Bo Dallas, one of the Rotundos. Yep. I don't know if you got to see. Did you see Bray Wyatt's debut match on NXT?
No, I did not.
I swear it's like Heath Ledger's Joker meets a chunky fat man running around with a little bit of Louisiana.
Yes, I did. And you are right.
His little waltz into the... Yes, it is an amazing gimmick for him. He can pull that shit the fuck off.
Great revamp on him.
He came out, the audience was booing the fuck out of him. Within a minute of the match, the audience was chanting his name. I think it was maybe C.J. Parker. It doesn't really matter. No, Aiden English. It was Aiden English who was wrestling.
Because
Aiden. Who, by the way, this Aiden is not a ginger, unlike the Aiden you saw earlier. Then the last thing I'd like to discuss with you, because I do believe from one of his web shows with the WWE has begun to warm up to you in a way that he hadn't before, much like The Miz. Mr. Dolph Gunn. I mean, Dolph Ziggler himself, the hashtag heel.
He's alright. I don't care for his personality in ring, but he is talented. I have to give him that. He is very talented.
I would say out of the entire crop of younger wrestlers, he is easily the modern day Shawn Michaels.
He's going to be one of their tops in the very near future.
I'm really hoping we don't see the same thing that happened to Cena happen to him this year with Money in the Bank. I would hate to see Dolph Ziggler cash in unsuccessfully. That man's been in so many title matches.
I don't think they'll do that to him. I really don't.
I'd actually like to see a face turn out of this, but so would a lot of people. Everyone else say turn him heel, with just about anybody. I like to say turn him face. And oddly, I hate faces. But there's few people I enjoy as a face. CM Punk, love him as a face. I can dig him as a semi-heel, semi-face, but I prefer him as a face. It's nice to see him as the good guy, someone that's not the typical cookie-cutter thing going on.
Yep.
Like, you know. Ziggler, I'd like to see him as a face. Miz is another guy I'd like to see as a face, but I can see the need to keep him in the heel role.
They don't have
if they do
heel.
make Punk heel, there were talks of Miz getting a serious push, you know, after the summer, beginning of the fall area, that time frame. I could maybe see a Miz face turn against Punk. I'm sure the two of them would work wonders together. But I'm kind of excited and kind of a little upset at the same time about the announcement of the Rock Royal Rumble title match. I see this happening one of two ways. Punk keeps the belt to Rumble to actually have a feud with the Rock until the Rumble, or of course Super Cena takes the belt from Punk and ends up with match number 2 with the Rock, which I'm kind of not interested in seeing. I think they dropped the ball at WrestleMania. The Rock should beat Cena. I'm sure it made everyone in Miami happy, but
oh yeah,
Rock shouldn't have beat Cena. He's not a regular wrestler. Cena's, as much as you all know, I was never a big fan of the man. Not his character anyway. I've warmed up to him. I actually own my own John Cena hat. You guys might have seen it in the preview for Season 2, which is just now finally starting, months later. I blame WWE Television for part of that and a few other life-altering circumstances. But, yeah, I'm in that regard, I'm a little disturbed about the idea of Punk keeping the title because of this long tenure until January, which, come on, that's 4 or 5 months away when the Royal Rumble hits. It's nice. It'd be nice to see Punk keep the belt that long. It's been a while since anybody other than Cena. Well, he's at a 10-month reign right now.
Is it 10 months?
Yes, 10 months.
He had said 6.
No, I do believe it's 10 months.
I thought he had said 6 though.
Well, he figured it was Money in the Bank last year. He won the belt, and a couple months later, he won the belt back after the Del Rio incident with Punk and Cena, and yeah.
After Punk left and came back.
So yeah. I think it covers just about everything that I wanted to discuss with you today. Maybe you'll be seeing something again from me in the near future. Maybe it'll be a little bit longer. Remember, check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/thejoshsays. Hit me up with your questions, and maybe you might just get a name drop on the most electrifying web show ever on the internet, on the most must-see and shit. You know how it goes. I'm pretty much out of rip-offs at the moment. Don't you laugh at me. I shall smite you like the internet wrestling god that I am, because you can't see me. Because I'm the Josh, and I'm motherfucking awesome. So, yeah. Josh is your mom 25 on Twitter. You can hit me up there with your questions as well. Also, thejoshsays.wordpress.com.
Never